Welcome back, viewers and listeners of Torah Anytime and Yibineh, to part 2 of our short, that means short in time, insights into Yom Kippur, so we're ready for the day. Part 1, we discussed why it's hard to do tshuva and what to do about it, and we did something about it. Part 2 now is, how about this for a mitzvah? Eating on Erev Yom Kippur. That's what we're going to focus on now. And then the last one the third installment will be about Yom Kippur itself. But let's go to eating. What kind of mitzvah is eating? It's what Ben Azai calls an easy mitzvah. Ratz mitzvah kala. Okay? Now, it's very interesting. That's the parish of the Tiferes Israel. Why is eating on Erev Yom Kippur an easy mitzvah? Well, it's beautiful. He brings different categories of easy. And it's easy in 2 ways. It's not hard to eat. Maybe the cook, I didn't say cooking for the meals was easy. I said eating on Erev Yom Kippur is easy. Why? The main reason is it's just like Oneg Shabbos. It's enjoyable. We love food and drink. We love it. It's enjoyable. That makes it easy. Now here's the question. Is that a good thing or a not good thing that it's easy? Okay? So, yes and no. Like most answers to Torah questions. All right? Yes, it's a good thing. Why? Because we're supposed to do all mitzvahs with simcha and zrizas. Is there a better place to start than an easy mitzvah? You can practice doing something with joy, okay? So in that sense, easy mitzvahs, enjoyable things, do them with simcha and get right at it, okay? That's the good side. The other side, the reason he's warning us, he's actually warning us, run to it means, this is another way, you can do a mitzvah that's for pleasure, sometimes forget the essence, which is it's a mitzvah that Hashem is asking us to do. We get lost in the pleasure. We become focused in the self-enjoyment. Not a bad thing, there are mitzvahs for that, but I'm saying, so there's a risk that we won't have proper Kavanah. We won't have the right intentions in doing it. So, you have to be careful with easy mitzvahs to make sure you step back and say, Hashem, the reason I'm eating on Yom Kippur, on Yom Kippur, is because you command me to eat on the ninth, right? Just express your intentions. And because I love you, always throw that in, okay? So one thing is you have to be careful when it's easy, your mind checks out, but mitzvahs are about relationship. And checking out in a relationship's not good. Okay, so that's the first part. I'm going to give you 3 approaches, maybe a 4th, 3 approaches to understand what Hashem wants from us in the mitzvah. Okay? This is to have kavanah, to have connection to what you're doing. First, you have to stop before the act and express your intention. I'm doing this as a mitzvah, Hashem. But that's not enough. During the process, it helps to think about what does Hashem want from this mitzvah. You can't always answer that with shatnez. It could be just once you say, yes, sir. But when it comes to a mitzvah like this, the Rabbeinu Yonah gives us 3 reasons for the meal. And I want these to become 3 reflections while you're eating. Right? Then it's going to be, instead of food for thought, this is going to be thought for your food. And these are all mitzvahs. What a win, okay? So, I'm going to, first reason Rabbeinu Yonah says, and he's tackling the idea that the eating's called fasting. This is beautiful. And this is what maybe most of you think of. When you eat, you're preparing yourself to do the avoda of the day, the service of the day, which is praying and doing tshuva and afflicting yourself, right? So the mitzvah of anisoseitim, afflicting yourselves, by eating, you're preparing it. So he says like this, the preparation is part of the mitzvah. So even though you're not really afflicting yourself when you're eating some lovely food, since you're doing it, I'm eating. This is, by the way, the in Pirkei Avos, they say everything you do should be l'shem shamayim. Have in mind that I'm preparing myself for the avoda. I'm putting myself in an ideal condition to do the holy work of Yom Kippur, all right? And so that's a mitzvah of doing things l'shem shamayim. You could have that in mind. The second reason he says, every Yom Tov has pseudos Yom Tov, right? Festive meals. The idea is to celebrate the gift of the Yom Tov. Feasting is to celebrate the gift of whatever the holiday is. Now, Yom Kippur, they say, is one of the happiest days of all. It's so cleansing, it's so healing, it's so repairing of our relationship. That's a lot to be happy about and celebrate. So what you should really do is say, Hashem, first of all, thank you for letting the Jewish people exist and get a second Luchos. And thank you for creating a healing, repairing, loving day every year. Thank you. So that's the second Kavanah, all right, to have while you're eating and feasting tomorrow, okay? Number one, you're doing this to have strength to do tshuva and fast, etc. That's number one, which is you turned the eating into part of the actual day. Number two is you're pre-celebrating the gift of Yom Kippur. Number three is my favorite. Listen to this. Says Rabbeinu Yonah, the eating on Erev Yom Kippur is a Sudas Hodah. Now, if you just take that lightly, it means it's a meal of thanksgiving. But when are you supposed to make a Sudas Hodah? When you escaped danger, right? Person had a terrible illness, God forbid, or robbers, or they went through a dangerous territory, right? That's when you make a Sudas Hodah. So the question is, what danger did I escape? Okay, says Rabbeinu Yonah, you made it to have kapara. What's the option if we didn't have Yom Kippur, right? And let's say we weren't perfect and we did the wrong things. So you know how atonement is classically done? Through suffering, okay? It's a healing of the damage from the sin, says Rabbeinu Yonah. It's done through suffering or even worse, okay? So the fact that we please God, we're not there yet. And by the way, says Rabbeinu Yonah, if you want to heal yourself and repair, worry about doing tshuva. Worry about it. Worry about your judgment. Worry a bit about, wow, have I done sufficient tshuva? Have I apologized, etc., etc. But then, if we make it, please God, we should, in all Klal Yisrael, if we make it to Erev Yom Kippur and we have that meal, what do? We're saying, thank you, Hashem, I lived out the year and now I get to atone, I get to be cleansed, I get to be healed, I get removal of so much suffering and bad things, okay? Now, isn't that a good reason to eat on Erev Yom Kippur? So let's just summarize, and then we'll go to the grand conclusion, the holy day itself. So we learned that the mitzvah of eating on Erev Yom Kippur is called affliction. So one reason is because preparation for a mitzvah becomes part of the mitzvah. So there is affliction going to occur on Yom Kippur. Your eating gets lumped in, and it's eating l'shem shamayim. Number two, every Yom Tov is a gift from Hashem, is celebrating something he did profoundly for the Jewish people. So we're preponing the meal, and we're celebrating it early, okay? And finally, what we just said, it's a Sudas Hodah. We were in danger all year. Hashem Yerachim, Klal Yisrael has been in danger. And please, in the merit of everybody's efforts and prayers, I don't want to not mention this, but we should see our beloved hostages and the soldier, all the people right now are in danger. They really, really have to celebrate Yom Kippur, but we should see their release, and please God, we'll all celebrate Erev Yom Kippur together.